when people say make the bed first thing in the morning, it doesn't do anything for you. It's not going to make you smarter or make you more bold or make you chase your dreams or anything else. The whole point of making your bed in the morning, if you choose to believe it, is that you're doing something that you don't necessarily want to do. And if you do that every day, you're training yourself that you're the kind of person who does the thing that you don't necessarily want to do. Making the bed isn't fun.
Nobody wakes up, it's like, I can't wait to make my bed.
So just like working out, just like eating healthy, just like chasing down your dreams, just like doing that call or making that video, whatever the things are on your task list. And like if I'm sick or if I'm tired or if you're here doing this shoot or whatever, do you let yourself off the hook or not? You got results from the gym because you go to the gym. You're getting stronger, you're getting muscles, you're doing your pull-ups, you're doing all of that because you're going to the gym. You could have that as a goal, but if you never go to the gym and you don't practice your pull-ups, guess what? You're not going to get the results. So that you've already done it. Now it's just doing that in other areas of your life.
Hey, it's Evan Carmichael, and I watch these videos every day because I need them for motivation. Being around successful entrepreneurs every morning helps me believe that I can do great things too. It's like your morning coffee, but for your goals, kickstarting your day with a blast of positivity. So here is a challenge for you. Try watching one video every morning for the next 30 days. And let's find out together if they help you do great things too. If you're in, leave a hashtag BELIEVE in the comments below so I can celebrate with you. So today, let's learn from me and my team's take on my top 10 rules of success. Enjoy. Rule number 2, don't be afraid to try. Growing up, I always thought I wanted to be a banker. I loved making money, and I thought that was my ideal job. And when I was 19 in university, I met with 2 entrepreneurs who had started a business. They asked if I wanted to join, and I had to decide, hardest decision in my life, go take the 6-figure investment banking job, traveling around the world, or own 30% of this startup and make $300 a month. Mm-hmm. And I thought, you know what? I'd rather know and fail than not know. So I'll just do it and see what happens. I can get another job in a year. It may not be the same job, but whatever. I'll get another job if it doesn't work out. But I had to know. And we struggled a lot, a lot of doubt, a lot of insecurities. I was, making no money and was too embarrassed and ashamed to ask my friends for help. Mm-hmm. Whenever they wanted to go out for a party or pizza or beer, that $20 would be my entertainment budget for the month. Right. So I was, too ashamed to ask for help. And eventually we came out of it. What's that?
How old were you at the time?
That was 19.
Okay.
Yeah. So 19, 20, like the first year of having my business. Rule number 3, stick to your niche.
If you're only talking about health and body, for example, for 2 months, and you make references to other stuff, but you're really just building an audience about people who care about health and body.
Right.
But then if you start introducing grow your own food, I kind of connects to health because now I get my own organic food, but I may not be down that path too much.
Right.
And then I want the other stuff. So like we need to create a consistent schedule where you're directly hitting the main points.
Yeah. Gotcha. Okay.
Within each direct point, you're going to be indirectly pointing to the other ones. But you don't want to have a month go by and you haven't directly hit one of the points.
Right.
Because the people who came for that now feel left out.
Yes.
And maybe not unsubscribe, but like stop watching the videos because he doesn't talk to me anymore.
Yeah, he's off topic.
Yeah.
According to that individual.
Right.
That makes sense.
And I may care a little bit about the other stuff, but I really care about this. Mm. And so if I know that you're not making that anymore, why am I going to keep watching your videos?
Gotcha.
Because you think of it as this holistic thing, which is great. Most people will come in for the thing they care the most about, and then they'll slowly learn about the other things. Like, oh yeah, okay, right? But if they're not getting their thing, then they probably bounce.
Rule number 4 is just do it.
How do you get better? Well, you have to do it. You can't just, the more you're spending time thinking, overanalyzing, over-preparing, judging yourself, I'm not good enough, this sucks, people won't care, that limits the one thing that matters the most, which is post. So you're already doing it. You're doing it in gym. You're not doing it in your faith anymore, and you're not doing it in maybe other areas, but you've done it in the gym. So now do it with your social media. It's just a decision to post every day. If you post every day, there'll be a lot of crap that will be put up.
Yeah, and that's the one thing I'm trying to avoid.
But how do you get through the crap is you keep creating, you keep making more.
Yes.
Because it takes you a long time to even, what is your style? You have no idea. Like if you go to the gym once a week, how do you even know what exercises to do? you're going to research and find something, but like you're not doing enough to even know if it's working.
True.
If you went to the gym once a week, you can get a definition, you might lose a little weight, you can put on some muscle, but like you don't even know what's working. Like, is a bicep curl working? I don't know. You're like you do your sets, right? So maybe you're doing a bicep curl twice a month, once a month. How do you know if it's working? You don't know. You're doing it once a month. It's by doing the repetitions, then you find out, okay, I don't want to do this exercise, doesn't serve me as much. I'm going to do this one today for my abs. I'm going to do this instead of that. Whatever. You figure it out because you're in the mix doing it, instead of just thinking about doing it. You don't know what your style is yet. You don't know what good content is yet. You're still playing.
Yeah.
So the way to do it is to even if you don't even post, I think you should post because it shows the journey, but even just a discipline of I'm going to make something every single day. Then you start to get better at it. Then you can start to tweak. Then you can start to judge yourself. Then you can say, okay, next time I'm going to make it a little bit better. Even how you want to film this, you're like, I'm going to film me over the shoulder, and Evan's going to be the main guy on camera. Okay, cool, that's a style. And maybe you like it, maybe it works, maybe you look at posts and you realize it didn't even capture your shoulder because you sat too far out, or I went out of frame, or whatever. It's an experiment. This might be your style. Or it might be a total waste of time, like who knows? But in the doing, if you did interviews every day, you'll start to get better at interviews. Whatever you do every day, you're going to start getting better at. If you're doing it once a week, you just will not get better.
Also, to make sure you're actually taking action after watching this video, I've designed a special free worksheet just for this video. The worksheet will highlight our favorite lessons from the video that will inspire you to remember what you learned today and actually apply them. The worksheet will also give you space to write down what your key takeaways are and your specific plan of action to make sure you're getting results. If you want the worksheet designed specifically for this video, absolutely for free, there's a link in the description below. Go click on it and start building the momentum in your life and your business. I'll see you there. Rule number 5 is know what you sell. So the number one question that nobody's asking you, and I'm going to ask Roland, which is going to be fun, before they devise a strategy for YouTube is, what do you sell? What do you sell? And for everybody here, like when you came in, well, the people who I met, it's like, well, what do you sell? It's always the first question, what do you sell? We had a relationship expert over here, counseling. We had a marketing consultant. So this could be consulting, this could be books, this could be, if Roland wanted to sell more tickets to this next year, right? Is that a goal?
No, not through that channel.
Okay, great.
Yeah, we have other channels for that, but
cool.
yeah.
So like you start with what do you want to sell? Because I want you to generate more leads. Because if we can increase...
So you can put consulting on there. You mentioned that. That's part of
consulting. Okay, cool. Consulting. So if we could help Roland get these 3 things, he would spend a lot more time on YouTube. Essentially everybody here, right? If you're going to grow your business from your content, you would justify spending more time on it. Right now it's okay to go after what may be hard. Now all of the problems we came up with here, right? All of the reasons why you can't do videos go away because it's generating revenue for you.
Rule number 6 is be resourceful. University is great if you want to go be a doctor or a lawyer or an accountant or some professional designation where it doesn't change that often. But staying on top of online marketing is not where you go to university for. So there's this giant demand. And where's the education coming from? Even a book, like I have a book. I got a couple books. The books takes a year to write, and then another 6 months to get out. By the time it's in somebody's hand, the information in the book is already at least 18 months old. So if I was to make a book on YouTube, it'd be totally different in 18 months. So the advice is already out of date. So it's why people are going to YouTube now to learn about these things. I think some of the other things you can still teach in classes and from books, but anything that's shifting really quickly, you want the most recent up-to-date information. Yeah. So everybody's just going to YouTube to learn how to do entrepreneurship, online marketing, set up their digital business, etc. Rule number 7 is grow your audience.
You hit it right on the head. Our intention is not to be rah, everything is great in the world. It literally is to turn the negative into a positive. And so finding ways to do that, like what you just mentioned, is key.
Yeah.
It's key for us to reach people.
So then it's just, you're picking which negative.
Yeah.
And the bigger the negative, the bigger the audience you can build and impact you can reach.
Yeah.
The smaller the negative, the smaller the audience.
That's powerful, yeah.
Right? So it's just finding bigger negatives.
Yeah.
So, whether you talked about the vaccine during COVID, whether you talk about the election cycle that's coming up in the US, whatever the things are that you care about and you're willing to share, Prime Minister. That's actually not a big one, right? Like, your audience is in Canada, right? So you talking about our Prime Minister, whether you hate him, love him, why, how to problem solve, how to fix the next election, whatever.
Yeah.
It won't get you tons of impact because it's only to Canada.
Yeah.
You talk about the US election coming up, it's going to have a much bigger impact.
Yeah, and for now, like, our hope is to reach the English-speaking world, because that's our ability to reach.
You can even take a stance of, even if you don't want to be critical or political, right? Like, is Biden too old to run? Right? You might have strong views on Biden that you may or may not want to share, but you could flip it in a positive way to say, okay, like, so this is a concern. It's like, we want our leaders to be healthy. So how do you live a healthy life into your 80s, 90s, 100s? And you flip it into a health article.
Yeah.
Without you saying, Biden is like the worst, or whatever you want to, right? So you're taking it in a different way.
Rule number 8 is learn to market.
For the people who are in the $1 Million Sales Program right now, that you're launching a new YouTube show where you're going to be coaching people one-on-one, and it's free, but it's going to go onto YouTube. And so it's not some bait and switch afterwards and you're surprised this is going to go on YouTube. They know in advance.
Right.
But you say that access to Mark is really difficult and very expensive.
Yep.
To get one-on-one time with Mark is not possible, or it's going to be very, very expensive. But you're going to get it for free because you're part of this program.
I like that.
The $1 Million Sales Pro. And who wants it? And you'll have people who say yes. Right?
Yep.
They put up their hand and say, hey, please pick me.
So
now when they come on, you say, hey, here's John. He's part of our $1 Million Sales Pro. Now, what's the $1 Million Sales? Now we're talking about it without it being a sales pitch.
Right.
And then hopefully John says something good, like, oh my God, Mark, your $1 Million Sales Pro is my favorite program.
Right.
You say, great. And then you say, okay, John, how can I help? And then John tells you where he's struggling, and then you just help him. You don't need tons of prep work or, an entire dossier on John. You just show up and he wants to sell and he's stuck somewhere, and then you go solve his problem.
Rule number 9 is live your purpose.
This idea of having your purpose in it maybe fill up all of your life. Does happiness come from everywhere? Does everything, do you have to be living your purpose and like your job has to do it, everything? Does it all have to come together like that?
So everybody's going to have a different version of balance, how much time you want to spend, like what makes a good father. Brandon has his version and Michael Jordan has his version and I have my version, and we tend to compare ourselves against other people, which can be really detrimental because we usually kick ourselves down instead of forward. So the key is then thinking, well, what does my version of balance look like for me? And so how much time you want to spend with your kids, how much time you want to spend with your wife, how much time you want to spend in your business, how much time you want to spend volunteering, whatever is important to you, working out. There's no right answer, but there's a right answer for you. And so the purpose should be baked into everything. The purpose is not just here's what I'm going to do in my business and I'm going to shut it off when I go home, right? So my purpose of believing in people, I believe in my son, I believe in my wife, I believe in my friends. It's not something that I have to put on. It's who I am. And so it's figuring out who you are so you can show up the best version in every situation. Also for yourself. Like my biggest problem is I need to believe in myself more as well. So it's not just for other people. It's an internal game too. And so, if you're looking at, there's what we do and then there's a reason behind it.
And rule number 10, the last one before some very special bonus clips, is cultivate relationships.
The thought leadership content is probably the least important for you, especially at the start. That's where you're just speaking direct to camera.
Right.
So the BizDev Show gets you clients. Like you don't even need to grow your social presence for you to 10x your business just from relationships that you create.
Right.
And that's in the BizDev Show. It's not about making you look good. It's about making your guests look good so that you can create a relationship to then work with their sales team.
Right.
Right. And so those videos don't necessarily have to have tons of views. The ROI is the relationship that you just created.
That's right.
The coaching show, the Show Me the Process show, is usually the best show to make if you're good at coaching. Like the caveat is, if you suck at coaching, you get exposed. It's like, if they came and brought you this problem, it's like, oh, I don't know what to do with that, then that's a problem, right? But if you're good and you have a deep well of knowledge, it's actually the best show, because it's usually the most fun to create because you're actually helping somebody. You're not just talking in your house to a camera. And it shows off how good you are, because there's lots of people who can talk a big game. What you just said, I could say too. I could say, here's what we do. We got to uncover your childhood trauma. We got to find the repeated patterns that have held. I could say all the things you said, but it doesn't mean that I can go and do what you do.
That's right.
And so there's lots of, and especially in the sales world, there's a lot of sales coaches and trainers who can talk a great game, but then when they're face to face with a client who's struggling with sales, they don't know what to do or how to help.
We often judge ideas too early. You look at the NFT market, right? NFTs are going to the moon. It's amazing. Bored Ape, CryptoPunk, let's go. Like WAGMI, all of this, right? And then, that was the hopium at the time. And now it crashed, and a lot of people are negative. But this isn't the final. NFTs are going to happen. Everybody will have a wallet. Everybody will have it, whether we even call them NFTs or something else in the future. Like, the blockchain is undeniable. It will happen. Everything will be on the blockchain. Everything we do will be on the blockchain. So what we see right now, as much as there's pessimism and negativity, this is not the final thing. And so I look at the same thing with the verification system. They're looking for ways to make money, and they're looking for ways to combat a lot of the fake and the copycat account. Yeah. But this is not an elegant solution either. What they've done is not elegant. And so it will be fixed. And somebody will fix it, whether it's Instagram, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Elon Musk again, whether it's some new social media site that pops up, comes out of nowhere, whether it's, you look at how quickly GPT came out of nowhere and just popped hard. Like, maybe that's the next social network that pops hard and figures out verification as well. So I don't want to judge. Is it great? No. But I'm also judging an unfinished product. It's like if you gave me your book that's half written and said, Andre, it's like, this is not very good. Well, it's half written, so we can't judge it. Yeah. Something else will come from it. I don't know who solves the problem, but somebody will solve that problem.
Doing the work is torture for most people. If you look at my channel, we're doing 3 videos a day. For a lot of people, jumping into my work schedule would be torture for them. It would be torture. It's like, it's just too much work. Right. And that's great. And it's like, I love it though. Like, I chose this life. I love the work I'm doing. I love being here talking to Dick. This is good. This is happy for me. Other people like, oh, I got to talk to Dick. I got to be on a live stream. I'm panicking. I'm freaking out. You put me in that landscaping job. I had a landscaping job. I would die, man. Like, I hated that job. But for other people, it's like, you know what? I love being outside. I love being fit. I love my friends here. Like, it's just, to be successful in anything, you have to enjoy the work that you're doing. And not everything is great. Not every day is roses. You're going to have a lot of crap that you deal with. And the thing that gets you through all the crap is just the love for the process. And so I think it's still important to have goals. It's nice. But more important than the goal is the journey to get there.
People are so scared of the opinions, or like I said, they feel they need to be somebody, and it's so powerful to where, they aren't open about it. And it's when you're open about it that things start to open up for you. So kind of like, when did you realize that?
Dude, many times. And I'm still going through it, just on bigger levels. I'm an introvert, so that doesn't come across in my videos and interviews like this and stuff, but I'm an introvert. So I have no need to share my story, to talk. The biggest fight I get into with my agent, who's this, tough New York guy, is, Evan, your problem is you don't want to be famous. Like, yeah, I don't have a need to be famous. You need to get famous for your message to get heard. So how does an introvert become famous? I don't know. I'm trying to figure it out. Join me on this journey and we'll see. Lots, man, lots. From big things to little things. Let's start with a little one. I'm at Tony Robbins' event. So Tony, I've been working with Tony for the past 4-ish years.
Nice.
He invites me to his event to sit in his specific chairman, seating, and meet him backstage and all this stuff. They have these security guards who are all around the stage because you can't get, somebody jumps on the stage, they have to be there. So they're rotating, right? And so as they rotate around, every 20 minutes or so, they do a rotate. And the guy from that corner comes to the front of the stage, and they do this little fist bump with each other. And then they rotate on to the next one. So they keep going in this clockwise direction every 20 minutes doing fist bumps. So I'm sitting there, it's happening right in front of me because I'm in the front row. And I was like, I'm going to fist bump the next security guard. I'm going to fist bump. I want to fist bump the next security guard because just to show some love to security guards, like, hey, you're important. I recognize you. So the next rotation comes around, my heart's beating. So they come and I put my fist out like this. He looks at it and keeps walking. Like, I just got owned. I just got rejected by the security guard at Tony Robbins' event. I can't believe it. My initial instinct is, oh my God, I hope nobody, who saw that? Did anybody see me just get destroyed here by the security guard? And of course, we always make the story way bigger in our head than it is. Chances are almost nobody saw it. And the ones who did they even care? And I'm sure 2 people maybe saw it and are laughing. Great. But in my head, it's like everybody, the whole world saw it, right? And so in that 20 minutes before the next security guard fist bump came up, I'm sitting there, I'm reflecting. I'm not even listening to Tony at this point because I'm stuck in my world about the lost fist bump. Like, what do I do next? And here's the thing that got me to do the fist bump again. Humans are built to serve. Humans are built to serve. We're wired to serve. Serving and helping others does the same thing to your brain as food and sex. We're wired to serve.
Yep. It's human nature. It's human
nature.
Yeah.
And at the same time, we are afraid of other people's opinions, judgments, expectations. Mm-hmm. And so most people live life with their foot on the gas and the brake at the same time because serving involves other people. You have to help others. You have to do something for others. It's not just serving yourself. That doesn't feel good. It's serving other people. But if you're also at the same time afraid of how they're going to react and judge you, then you never do anything.
You were making 80 videos in one day, so you could do basically all the videos for a month in one day. Do you still do that? And 2, what's the logic behind that?
And where do you find the time management for something like that? Because that's one of my big downfalls. I'm not so good with time management. That's something I'm learning myself.
Yeah. So I don't do 80 a day anymore. That was when I was filming once a month. I film once a week now. And so we'll cut that back to 20-ish videos a week. More because I'm spending more time on each of the videos and my team is preparing things for me that we're not a month ahead on. For the time management, it's just your actions need to map to your ambitions. And so you have ambitions. And not just business ambitions, life ambitions. I don't know if you're married or not, or kids or not, but whatever your life ambitions are. Then I default to looking at my calendar. And I say, okay, I look at my week next week. If I did the things that are in my calendar for next week, am I moving closer to hitting my ambitions or not? So if I'm making videos, then yeah. But if I spend a week and there's no videos happening, then no, I'm not getting closer to my ambitions. And so if you think that your time management is an issue now, it only gets harder as you grow bigger. I have 24 people on my team, it's harder. I got to manage all these people on top of managing myself. And so I remind myself of whatever I'm doing right now, whatever challenge I think that's in front of me, I tell myself this is just a warm up. This is just a warm-up. I'm capable of more. I'm capable of more than what I'm facing right now. Because if you feel like the current problem is overwhelming, then that's the limit of what you're capable of doing. So this is just a warm-up. Then I look at my calendar and I look at my goals and I see how do I match these things up. I'm a huge believer, and this may not work for you, but I chunk my days. So Thursday is my public-facing day. We're talking on a Thursday. I don't know when you guys are going to launch this thing, but I'm an introvert. And so that may not come across. You may not believe me, but I am. And I need to get up for public. I call this public facing day. So I need to get up for my interviews, and it's been all day interviews and podcasts and hangouts and meetups. And that's my Thursday every day. And I like that because I have a really hard time switching tasks, to talk to you guys and be all fired up and energetic and then go and write my book. And then come back and then do another interview. I can't. The energy level, it's doable, but it just sucks so much for me that it's better for me to stay in one zone for the day. I find that super helpful.
Do you have any tips for creators that are starting out on the platform and are looking to build their audience organically?
Oh yeah, no, I'm answering the question.
Okay.
The thing is, you need to open your heart to people. So I asked you a heart question, and you shut it down and moved back to head.
Diverted, yeah.
Right? Because you said, I want to document my self-love journey. That's why I'm doing my house and my workout. You said, I want to document my self-love journey. So then I asked you, well, where do you struggle with self-love? That's a heart-opening opportunity. And then you went to, well, I've fixed a lot, and I'm much more, and I don't really struggle with that anymore. Okay, cool. And maybe you don't. Awesome. But where do you struggle? Because if you're telling the stories about 17-hour days and photo shoots, and it's like the glam life, cool, but it's not really relatable. So what are you struggling with? So what's the negative voice in your mind? Because you're part fierce, badass, gonna show up and crush and want to change the world, right? That's in you. And then you're also insecure and self-doubt and like, is this even worth it? And when is it gonna happen for me? And like all of those emotions too, and all of us are.
Yeah.
But that's the heart stuff, that if you can figure out how to dive into that stuff on a video, people will then start to love you and feel connected to you. And you're still badass, fierce, chasing down your goals.
So showing all.
If you're writing songs with your head and not your heart, it's not going to win.
Yeah.
If you go into a studio thinking, okay, what is a hit song going to be? And let me just copy whoever, and this is the track, versus, no, I have something to say. This is what's on my heart. Like, those will be the better songs.
Vulnerability, yeah.
And so if you're already doing that in your art, now it's bringing that to just a new form of art. And what you want is people to actually join you. The language you use is great. I'm on a journey of self-love. And if you want to swap that out for something else, cool. But you take people on a journey, then they want to join with you on the journey. But you have to let them in, not just kind of watching from the outside.
YouTube is a long form platform. This podcast, however long it goes, it's not a 40-second clip, right? I love data. I love making data-driven decisions. It might be great to feel a certain way, but I want to see that it actually has a result.
100%.
Right?
It's my morning conversation.
Great. YouTube gives you the best data of any platform. So when this video comes out, you'll see in your audience retention, there's a curve called the audience retention curve, where basically you see where people are leaving the video. So at the start, it's 100%. Everybody who watches at 0,000, they're there. But then as the video goes on, it's this curve. You'll see at some points a sharp curve where it drops a lot. People left. Whatever you did there sucked. Don't do that again.
Probably a commercial. Leave my commercials. Gotta pay the bills, guys. You know?
But even timing around the commercials. Right. If you do it too soon, you might lose a big percentage of your audience. But there'll also be these magical moments where it's flat, which means nobody left. For this 2-minute clip, nobody left. Whatever we were talking about, nobody left. And then you'll have some really magical moments where it goes up. How is that possible? People rewinding the clip to watch that part again. That's what you cut and put to your Instagram.
I was curious if you like found yourself taking on personality traits of like recklessness, like you went way far on the other side, and like discernment was starting to get grayed, the lines were starting to get blurred. Has any of that ever crept into like, I know I don't want to live with regret, so I'm going to go all in on the other side?
I don't think that happens.
Okay.
You know, there's planners and doers, and the planners need to do more and the doers need to plan more. But it's very rare that a planner just becomes a doer and stops planning.
Yeah.
Right? So there's people who just plan things for years and then they still don't do anything. And there's people who just take action, but they're like all over the place, and tomorrow's a different action, the next is different, and there's no plan or strategy, and they end up just running around in circles. Tons of action, but not moving anywhere. You're just running in a circle. And so I think I haven't really seen people move from one category to the other. But whatever category you're in, you need more of that other thing. People ask me about humility. It's like, well, you're humble and all this stuff. It's like, okay, well, I need more bravado. I would be doing my mission more service if I had a little more bravado and ego and look at me and chest thumping. It's taken me a long time to come out of my shell and even say yes to any interview. Like, I've done enough of these now, but if this was 10 years ago, I would have said no. I would have said, no, Nicholas, or what are your questions? I need to know everything you're going to ask me, because I'd be afraid of letting you down or letting your show down. And so I think whatever those personality traits are that you have, I haven't seen people completely move to the other side. And if anything, you need more of that in your life. So And I would think most people need more of the let's not live with regret, because most people live with regret. And there's some few crazy people might have a gene missing or something who like are just insanely reckless and don't care. And maybe they need a little more caution and planning and
right.
strategy, you know? So it's the self-awareness to know what you need most.
Yeah, self-awareness definitely helps.
What your current morning routine looks like.
So I go through 5 S's. Sing, sun, soar, sweat, scare. So sing, I put on music right away. And any song that will get you, like if it came on, you'd have to bounce and you'd have to sing, right?
Yeah.
So right now, there's a Chinese rap that I did. It's a Chinese song that I did a rap in English on top of.
Yeah.
And so I play that every morning.
Chinese rap is like dance, or is it like straight up like hardcore rap?
I'm rapping to a Chinese song. So there's this woman who's rapping, and I sped her up, and then I'm rapping over the parts where she's not singing. That was a fun little project that I worked on. So I like it. It makes me move. So I'm rapping to my own song every morning while it comes on. But whatever song gets you up and ready to go, because we wake up and you're tired and starting your day, and so music is the fastest way to change your state. Like as soon as it comes on, in 5 seconds, you can already be feeling better, right?
Oh yeah.
And there's no one magical song. It's whatever it is for you and the audience. Then sun. So I like to get outside.
Yeah.
So we got 2 dogs. They're in here with us today. I like to get outside just to get some fresh air on my face. We're in Toronto. It's December. There's not a lot of sun happening right now. But just getting out of your environment, even if you work from home, the walk from just your bedroom to the office, you can carry with that still the tired energy of the bedroom, right? So get outside, get some fresh air. Even if it's just go out on the balcony and just take in some sun for a little bit.
Mother Nature.
Mother Nature makes a difference. Then soar. So this is the most important part. What is the thing that you need to do every day that makes you feel bold, powerful, unstoppable, confident, alive? Whatever that thing is, do it first thing in the morning. Instead of waiting, like maybe it's listening to the Pave Your Paradise podcast or watching the video series now, it's happening. If that's a thing, then you watch it every morning. You listen to it every morning. Most of us don't have enough intention behind the day.
Yeah.
And so I know it's part of what you do in the morning too, but for me it's, I go live on Instagram. So service, if I feel like the work that I'm doing matters, is important, I'm serving somebody, it makes me more amped up for the day.
Totally.
So I'll go live on Instagram every morning and people join in from around the world asking questions and I help them. And it's a quick half hour. And that's what I need to do. So other people, maybe it's meditation, maybe it's prayer, maybe it's something, like anything. Whatever the thing is that makes you feel bold, powerful, confident, if you started your day with the thing that made you feel bold and powerful, your year is going to look totally different. Like where you are in 1 year will be totally different than where you are right now.
Amen.
And then the last 2 are just sweat and scare. So I'll do a workout and then hop into a cold shower because
Like what do you like to do for working out?
Usually do 100 push-ups, 100 squats. What am I doing now? 100 push-ups, 100 squats, and 100 jumping jacks.
Yeah. And then you do like the Wim Hof, the whole like cold, hot.
That's it. Not hot, just cold.
Just cold.
Just cold. Yeah. There's no hot in the Wim Hof.
No, I mean like the cold, like the heat and coolness. Like you get really worked out, like sweaty.
Oh,
and
yeah.
Then you do the cold.
Then we jump into the cold. Yeah.
What advice would you give to that person that's watching this show, who's a business owner that wants to start content marketing, posting on YouTube, YouTube Shorts, Instagram, stuff like that?
I would again look at the 3 shows that I talked about at the beginning. Most people, when they're looking at creating content, they do the thought leadership show, which is the most awkward show for people to do because they struggle at talking into a camera. For most businesses, if your business is professional speaking, then okay, that's a huge advantage for you. But for most people, they're not trained in how to speak in front of a camera. And so they start making content and they suck. And it's true, like you do suck, but doesn't mean you suck as a person. It's just a skill set that you have to develop to continue to work on. I usually lean on the first show, which is the BizDev show. Even if this doesn't do well, who are the people that you want to build relationships with that having them on your show leads to referrals for your company? Because every company that's already established knows the value of referrals. Now let's increase our chance to get more referrals. And asking somebody to come on your show is a lot easier than asking somebody to coffee to talk about a potential partnership or referral arrangement, right? So it's about relationships.
What is your superpower?
What is my superpower?
Yeah.
Believing in people.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Yeah.
I think whatever the thing is that, what's my biggest kryptonite? Believing in myself. You know, like the thing that you want to give to the world is also the thing that you need the most too. So now people say, well, you're the believe guy. How do you not believe in yourself? Well, I believe in myself to get here, to do everything that I've done. It's the next step. The next level of Evan Carmichael is on the other side of even more belief. And as I learn and improve and grow and figure out some new strategies, I'm going to then share it with my audience as well. We could take these businesses in different directions. Like if the goal is speaking, the key thing is getting to know the people who are hosting these events. Mm-hmm. Who are the people putting it on? And build a relationship with them. The easiest way to do that is the BISD Show. So you have them on your show. Mm-hmm. You already have a podcast. It's great. Mm-hmm. I don't know how you're selecting the guests to come on your show, but now it's with an intent to, I want to get speaking gigs from this person or their network. Like, are you already thinking about that, or how have you picked?
I mean, the reason I started the podcast was to have a big personal development brand podcast. And so my concern in that is that a lot of the people I get on now are speakers, authors, coaches, that stuff, which I understand I can't market to them because they're in the same game, but not to dilute the podcast, if that makes sense.
So you have two choices there. One, you start a different show geared just towards this, or two, you find an angle that it feels right in your heart to have them on. So if you're looking at who's putting on events for entrepreneurs, you can go research all the events for entrepreneurs, or even like, I don't know if you go into sales or if you go into MLM.
Yeah, I would,
Great. So all of those conferences or people who are selling insurance, like all of these things, they're like pseudo entrepreneurs. Insurance people are, you're kind of an entrepreneur, but you're not.
There's way less risk.
Right? Real estate, same thing. You're an entrepreneur, but there's like a support system around it. So there's lots of events happening around those things. You find a list of all the events, you find a list of who's organizing them, you invite them on your show to be a guest. They care about personal development. Otherwise they wouldn't be putting on these events.
True.
Why put on an event for entrepreneurs or real estate professionals or MLM industry or whatever? They care about this stuff. Do you personally connect with them enough that it feels right in your heart to have them on the show? You can make a judgment call whether it's a fit for the main show or you start a different show around it. But that's gonna be your fastest path to get speaking gigs.
Right.
Talk to the people who are hosting the events. Other speakers and authors, not that they see you as competition, but they're probably gonna take the deals that they like the best.
For sure.
And they may not remember you or pass, like they have lots of entrepreneur friends and speaker friends that you may not be the first person that they call if they want to turn it down.
That's right.
Right? So it's not that it's not possible, it's just a much longer road. So if we want to be strategic and we want to get deals for our speaking gig, like that's the fastest way to really do it. And it's not that difficult to execute.
I try to train myself that I do hard things. I do hard things. I love hard things. What, you want easy things for the rest of your life? Do you want to then you're inside your comfort zone, photocopying your day over and over again?
No growth there.
So you actually love hard things. You love difficult things. And so examine whatever it is that you want to do. For everybody listening, right? What is your goal? What do you want to accomplish? What's that idea in your head? What's the reason why you're not doing it? Okay, well, often it's hard or it's difficult. Okay, great. You do hard things. Awesome. Or I'm afraid. Great. You do scary things too. You want to just do things where you know the outcome of forever? No, it's boring. You'll hate your life. So if there's nothing in your calendar in the next month that doesn't scare you, you hate your life.
That's true. There's so much truth in that.
You have to do things that scare you, whether that's reaching out to somebody for an interview, whether that's fist bumping a security guard, whatever it is. Like there has to be something in your schedule consistently that scares you, that makes your heart boom, 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 boom. Otherwise, you're in your comfort zone and you hate your life. And so what's the reason why you're not doing the thing that you're doing? It can't be because it's hard or difficult, and it can't be because you're scared. And so try to catch that in your own language. Well, I can't do that because it's too hard. No. I do hard things. So I'm triggered already when you said hard because I taught myself so much. No, I do hard things. I love it. Give me the hard, man. I want the hard. I only do hard. So that's a great, if people can catch it in their own life, then that's how you actually build self-love, self-confidence, self-respect. If you win and it's easy, you might post about it on Instagram that you won, but you don't feel great because it's a fake win. But if you get up and you just try and it's difficult, that's how you actually build self-love, self-confidence, self-respect, by doing difficult things.
give us a definition of what is a little man and how you define that, and maybe how you manage to, ignore it, defy it as you were growing your business and your channel.
Sure. So the little man is the hater in your life. It's the person who's telling you that you can't do it, pointing out all the reasons why your next podcast is not going to work, or your big book, or whatever your dream is, all the reasons why it's not going to work out. And often those are real people in our lives. Maybe it's our parents, our friends, our guidance counselor, our boss, people in our community. And often it's ourselves. The enemy is the enemy, right? Like you are your own enemy. And so oftentimes we have great big ideas that we're excited by. And then how often do we talk ourselves down from those big ideas after you sleep on it? And the next day you wake up like, I can't do that. Nobody will listen to me but before you even tell anybody else, it's your own inner little man that is holding you back. So that's the little man. And rule number 7, it's there because it's one of the most consistent things that come up with big entrepreneurs and dreamers. You're doing something that is crazy, that is bold, that has never been done before. And whenever you do that, if you're a change maker, you're doing things that have never been done before. And so you're going to get criticism, you're going to get heat, both from the outside world and the inside world. And so the 2 things that I find really help me personally with that, one is just being around people who have to deal with criticism a lot and see how they react, I think is valuable. I think, as an example, if you want to get more confident, better than reading a book on 8 ways to get more confident, start hanging around confident people. If you do that, their mindsets, their beliefs, their attitudes will rub off on you. Like if you want to be a change maker, better than just downloading some PDF with 8 different ways on how to be a change maker, hang around Jay. Like he is a change maker. Just by hanging around him, almost regardless of what he's talking about, it's going to inspire some change within you. And the more you hang around Jay and guys like Jay, the more you listen to this podcast, then the more you're going to just be willed into making change for yourself. Just like if you're hanging around negative people all day long, you're going to become negative. You're going to complain more. Or if you're hanging around big game-changing people, you're going to start gravitating towards that, right? It's the concept of you are your best, closest friends around you. Right. So that's one. So if you want to avoid the little man or learn how to ignore them, then you need to be around people who are dealing with big things and dealing with criticism. And chances are those aren't currently the people in your life. They're other people. So for me, that's where I get it from the book. I get it from the videos, seeing how somebody reacts to criticism, say, that's interesting. I would have taken that more critically, or I would have been hurt by that, and seeing how they do it. If you do that consistently, it'll rub off on you.
The AI tools are incredible.
Yeah.
So like if you're not interested in AI and you're not applying it to your business and not following along, you're losing. Like everybody needs to figure out AI in their business 100%. It's getting better by leaps and bounds. Like every week, there's some new tool, there's some new thing you can do. It's crazy. We've already accidentally posted a video of me on my channel. My wife thought it was me and she posted it to my Instagram, and it wasn't me. It wasn't my video. It wasn't my voice. It wasn't my script. And my team was just playing around with it and sent it to us as a, hey, here's a demo. And she thought it was something that needed to be posted. So she posted it.
What?
Already. And like, it's only going to get worse and crazier and more authentic and more real. Like I could watch and say, that's not me, but I thought there's no way, like people will know. But if it fooled my wife already, then it's going to fool everybody.
Wow.
Right?
And was that software, or they put everything together from different AIs?
It was different. There's the video AI, and then there's the script AI. It was like GPT to write the video, like to write the script, like write a script about belief in the voice of Evan Carmichael, and then it pops something up, right? And then 11 Labs to train the audio to actually have it sound like me. And I've trained my voice, right? So we've done the recordings and have all the samples. So we've trained my voice. I don't know what I'm going to use it for yet, but I'm playing with it. Like you have to play with it. So train my voice. The video one, I don't remember which. We're playing with around a bunch of video tools. So I don't remember which video tool we use to make it happen. But yeah, like we posted it. And then I had to go back and say, oh, this is AI, Evan, you know. But it's only going to get better. But this is where NFTs come in. This is why it's so valuable, because that still requires a lot of
it's GPT plus 11 labs plus whatever video tool, then to make it into an Instagram video. Like it's a lot of mess to figure all that out. That's all going to go away. Just like NFTs, it's hard to set up a wallet and figure out Ethereum and buy it and get it. Like it's hard, but that's going to all go away. That's going to be the default, right? It's going to be easy in the future to make that happen.
Everybody has an off day, but it seems like you never do. And I think that, and I'm sure you still do, but when you're in front of the camera, you're doing it for the viewers. You know what I mean? You're putting your selfish, bad day, I guess, aside, and you're focusing on the product. And I think that's awesome. And that's really attractive to me as a viewer, that you're willing to put in the commitment to spit out 3 videos a day. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I suffocate negativity in my life. It happens, maybe my wife isn't happy in the morning, or maybe someone on my team is pissed off when they started the day or whatever. Right. My natural reaction is one to try to avoid that situation, right? For that time. And then I just get so excited. I don't know. My default is, if there's negativity in my life, I need to suffocate it, not give it any oxygen, and go the other way. I don't know where that comes from, but it's not hard to get up for. It's not hard to get up for this. Like, I'm talking to Dick. I'm pumped. Let's do it. Even if something crappy happened just before, it doesn't matter. I'm ready to go. When I'm making the videos for the channel, it's the same thing. Like, it's easy to get, it's at least as easy for me to get all excited about it, because again, it's tied into the work that I do and why the why of what I do. I try to help entrepreneurs. I believe entrepreneurs are going to solve all the major world problems, not corporations and not banks and not government. It's entrepreneurs. And so if my work adds a little bit, 0.5% to make the difference for Dick or whoever to go out and push a little bit harder, that's meaningful to me. And so I try to take that with me when I'm going into filming day.
Absolutely.
And just suffocate. You have to suffocate negativity out to focus on
Evan, I think
when you look at yourself in the mirror, what do you say? When you think about yourself, what do you say? A lot of the stuff that we say about ourselves, we wouldn't say to our worst enemies. It's rough. I actually think it's great to be your own worst critic. I think it's great. I think for a lot of people, we're not hard enough on ourselves. Let me stick with me for a minute. We're not hard enough on ourselves, because in order to get to where you want to go, you actually need to push yourself more. The problem is why we can't do it is we don't love ourselves enough. We're not our biggest cheerleader enough. You have to balance those two things. We're very hard on ourselves, but because there's no self-love, we're not cheering ourselves on enough. We're not our biggest cheerleader. You can't handle it. Most people are already at the breaking point. Like, I'm sitting here in a parking lot. These, those, I guess it's kind of blurry. You can't really see them, but people hate their lives. They're barely hanging on. Most people are barely hanging on. We're barely hanging on to what we're doing. We can post all these great things on Instagram or wherever and make it look like we're enjoying our life, but most people are barely hanging on. The people who are judging you for your life and telling you that you suck hate their own lives. They are barely hanging on. So how do we get through it? Well, yes, we can be harder on ourselves, but we need to balance that with more self-love. You have to remind yourself of why you're great, what you're proud of, what you're grateful for. And it has to be consistent. Otherwise, you'll never get to where you want to go. And when you love yourself more, that actually allows you to be harder on yourself. When you love yourself more and you actually feel it, you can push yourself harder. You can be more demanding of yourself, because it's not going to push you over the edge, because you're not tying your self-worth to you accomplishing that thing. And when you don't accomplish it, you feel like a loser. It's starting from a place of I'm amazing. That allows you to be way harder on yourself.
You're a big believer in belief systems. So it's almost like before you have that first big win under your belt, it's almost like you don't think it's possible. And because of that, you don't take the actions, because when you play the movie, you're like, I can't see myself being successful, right?
Yeah. And so, I mean, I didn't need to go do something next, but I also wasn't set for life. And I was also 22. So
what was the distinction? What happened that you say, what was the change?
Modeling success. I mean, I felt like I tried everything myself. Nothing was working. I told my business partner that I quit. Worst day of my life. Because nothing was working, It wasn't that we didn't agree on things, just nothing was working. I needed to feel like I was a valuable human again.
And so I said, I quit, and then, barely slept that night. And the next day said, I can't quit. If I quit now, I'm going to regret it. I just have to find another way to stand.
I've heard you discuss that 80% of the content system is getting people to have an emotional reaction to what you create. What strategies do you have in place to ensure your audience has an emotional connection with your content?
You need to have an emotional connection to the content. So you do an interview show. Like, how many of these have you done on this channel?
We're approaching 171 about?
171 interviews? Okay,
Yeah.
so like if you're going to do interviews, you better like doing interviews.
Yeah, amen.
Because you're going to be 171 interviews in and then hate your life. So for people like, I'm going to start a podcast. Cool. But you better like talking to people. Even if you're like, I'm introverted, I'm shy, it's not natural or normal, but I like serving. And so this is one of the ways to do it. But if you're doing it just as a strategy, you're going to lose. You have to actually be curious about people. And then you have to bring on guests who you actually care about. Right? So if you brought on a guest who like you love their story and you love something that they've done, then that's going to light you up. And if it lights you up, it'll light up the audience. Versus if they're on just for a strategy, if it's like, I'm going to bring on somebody to talk about passive income because it's trending, but like you don't care about passive income.
Right.
Then it's going to be the most boring, maybe you do, I don't know, but it'd be the most boring interview, of all time. And so the key is making content that you deeply connect with, that you get super excited by, and your energy will create energy for the people watching. Like, oh my God, this guy's so excited by it. I'm going to get into it too. You've got your BizDev show. And the point of the BizDev show is to bring ideal clients on. If you don't think they're an ideal client, or they could refer ideal clients to you, then they're not on the show.
I get the light bulb went on this morning was to pick entrepreneurs, choose entrepreneurs to come on to an entrepreneurship show. And in our mind, in my mind, entrepreneurs would probably watch it because I'm talking to an entrepreneur. So yeah, I really, my mind is really shifted.
Yeah, but they're coming on and just listen to somebody else's story. Why would I then hire you? I don't know. You're just Larry King asking questions. You're a great question asker.
Right. Okay.
Well, I'm not hiring you for that. So unless your goal is to be an MC or to host shows or something else, then that's a different model, right? But if like I'm a coach and I want to sell more coaching services, then that's a better model. So you're bringing people, if they're either not an ideal client, meaning they have a business and they can afford your services, like if it's a brand new startup and they're dead broke, it's not an ideal client because they can't afford you. So ideal clients or referral partners, lawyers, accountants, those kinds of people who deal with entrepreneurs all day long. Like if you have the right lawyer on and they love you, they could be referring every client.
Tell us what is one thing you do every morning to set your day up for success.
I've got a bunch. I'm trying to think like what would be a really cool or different one. Thinking about service, right? Like it's so easy to get complacent as an achiever. So thinking about like what I do today has to matter. I want to create something meaningful that's going to help impact other people's lives today, and putting that pressure, like tomorrow is a different day. Today, something important has to happen. Giving has to be a part of the morning routine.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna have to think about that.
Yeah, whether that's actually giving in terms of like you're going to take a call with somebody and mentor them, or you're going to buy the coffee for the person behind you in line, or you're just going to meditate and pray for somebody. Like I'm thinking of somebody in my head and I want them to have love today, and you're like focusing your energy on supporting somebody else. Giving will make you feel so much more alive and has to be a part of your daily routine.
We have a big mission to change the world, right? Amazing. And it's like, okay, our immediate goal, and maybe we hit that in a couple months. It doesn't have to take the December to, that's right. You're going to leave, but we can, if you have 10 clients we're happy too, right?
Very much.
So, but the immediate goal is it's not some crazy thing that you're coming in to say, I need to have 1,000 clients paying me, right?
Yeah.
So it's 5 clients.
5 clients.
Between now and December, right?
Yeah.
Perfect. At a minimum. So then it's who are the best
people who can afford you to pay $2,000 a month. If you connect better with women, then we can define it's women. It's not that you only have to do one, but it's helpful to narrow in on like the right influences that take you to the path.
Right.
So is it women in careers?
So I've honestly mostly I haven't coached any women.
Oh,
been coaching men.
Okay.
And it's been, the people who I have been coaching are people that are in the, like in the fitness space.
So it's more about figuring who are the people who have budget, who can hire you, or you get paid to come in to an organization and help them with their team.
Yeah, exactly. Honestly, like as I think more about this, it's like, how can I create the maximum impact, right?
Not yet.
Okay.
No, this is where we get
Scale
stuck.
back.
Yeah, no, exactly. This is the trap. Maximum impact doesn't make you money in the next 3 years.
Well, that's true.
And we have a drop dead date, December 31st.
Yes, we do.
So yes,
You're right.
for sure.
No, you're right.
And,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
So, but that's not the question right now, maximum impact. We just need impact.
Right.
Maximum impact on like individuals, but not world.
Yes.
High impact, and we need to be paid to do it so we can continue to build and scale.
Okay.
I think people who are going to be entrepreneurs is a really hard market because they just don't have budget.
Right.
And especially if they quit their job and then they go to start their business, then they have no more money to pay you.
Yeah.
So the coaching will probably end.
Absolutely.
So it's finding people who are, it could be if you're making $250,000 plus a year and you want to start a business.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to help you. And I would get the $25K up front. So once they start the business, it's going to be really hard to, right?
And I collect after every session. Okay. Yeah. Upfront.
Yeah. Like all of that, it could be potentially negotiable.
Right.
Could I do quarterly installments? Could I do just 6 months? You don't have to say no to it, but you can say like, here's what we did.
I love how fascinated you are to just learn and take what you like from different people and then apply it and so forth. And you'll never, not that you need to worry about this, but you'll never get stale or dull or repeat yourself too much because you're constantly learning and applying and then giving back. It's awesome.
Well, thank you. I mean, there's a lot in there. Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Really, I'm just making videos and content and having guests on and being guests on shows that I'm curious about. You know, I love being on with you. Like you came to me through Dave and Dave's like, hey, I got this new guy I'm working with, Craig. Can you hop on an IG live together? Right. I didn't know who you were, but it's Dave. So like, okay, happy to do it. Right. And then like, we're back for round 2 because round 1 was so good. Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm not as strategic of, I need to do this person because it's going to help me grow my channel. It's more, what do I want to learn? If I just wanted to grow, I should go negative. If I did the top 10 stupidest things Kanye has said, that'd be fire. People would love that stuff, right? But I'm trying to spread, it would make me feel gross because I want to create optimism and belief and hope for people.
For someone who wants to create this master morning routine,
Yeah.
you know, it's one thing to just listen or to see what other people are doing, but how can they actually create one for themselves?
So I split it into 2. The first part is what has made you bold, powerful, confident, alive, right? It's happened to you. You felt it. It's just not consistent. That's the problem. For most of us, it's not consistent. You have these moments of boldness, like, I can do anything. And then you wake up tomorrow, it's like, I can't do that thing anymore. And we just live in the world of, I can't do it, but you feel like you're capable of more, but you're afraid to take action. So in those moments where you have felt boldness, what did you do just before? Did you have a conversation? Did you meditate, pray? Like whatever the thing was.
Yeah.
Then that's not even pulling from somebody else. That's you. You've already felt boldness. What happened? How did you do it? Now try to plan that in your morning routine. And that can be different for other people. For me, it's helping people. And so the easiest way to do it is by going live on Instagram. Then it's pulling from different people to see what are they doing and how can you apply it. I love small tests.
Yeah.
We were talking about journaling before we went live. So lots of people do journaling. Tim Ferriss does journaling, like lots of successful entrepreneurs do journaling. So okay, great, idea to action. I'm huge on idea. You get an idea, go do something about it.
Yes.
You can choose at any moment positivity. You can choose at any moment gratitude. You can choose at any moment service. You can choose to change your mindset in an instant if you wanted to. The challenge is we're so living in our subconscious mode that we don't. We don't catch it soon enough. We don't take the action that we're proud of, and then we regret it. We regret it later on. This morning, I woke up really early. I'm very tired. I woke up at 3:45 a.m. for some reason, don't know why. Look at my watch, like 3:45 a.m. What? Oh man. Okay. Whew. Try to go back to sleep. Toss turn for about an hour, and then I got up. I was like, okay, it's 4:45. It's almost 5. Let's get up. And I got to work and started doing things. And then the crash hit me. The crash hit me. Just not enough sleep, and everything inside me wanted to shut down. I wanted to just take a complete break, not do my walk in the morning, not take the dogs out. Well, the dogs have to go out, but not do my routine, not do any of my usual stuff, not record videos. Today's a Tuesday when I record. It's video recording day. And it's in these moments, those trying times, that you have to decide who you want to be. You have to decide if you want to choose to be positive, choose to live in gratitude, choose to live in productivity, choose to live in service, or not. What would the future you think of your actions right now? And I think 95% of the time, the answer is to push a little harder. Move the brake line forward, right? Where you would normally take a break, move that forward just a little bit. Move the brake line forward a touch. And 5% of the time, you have to be more gentle on yourself. When my family dog passed away, when I broke my neck, when, all sorts of things have happened to me, just like they've happened to you. Sometimes the answer is to give yourself a little more grace, to recognize how far you've come, everything that you've done with the limited amount of resources and time that you have. But I think if we default to that, then we default to staying stuck and staying small, because life is going to throw so many different challenges at you. So I think 95% of the time, that's the 5%, right? 5% of the time, you give yourself more grace, you let yourself off the hook, you take the day off, you do whatever you need, especially if you're struggling with grief. If you're struggling with grief, I think you just have to work your way through it. You have to give yourself a lot of grace and a lot of time, and it will get better. And just please don't go through it alone. But almost everything else, usually the answer is to keep going, because it'll make you more proud, because you're teaching yourself that you stand up to obstacles and you overcome. For 10 more rules from me, check the video right there next to me. I think you'll love it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
The first is just staying consistent on the thing. I don't know how many times it took you to make a video before your channel started to take off. For me, it was a lot. 5 years to get to 2,000 subscribers or something like that. It's just, the only thing I had going for me was I just kept going.